Video games are without a doubt my favorite hobby, and for years they were the part of my day I looked forward to most. So, why did I quit them for over 2 years, even though I still love them? I, like many of you, would go to video games right after work. If I had free time, that is the way I would want to relax. There are just so many unique experiences to be had, from couch co-op, offline Halo, to the Outer Wilds, to all the legendary series you've heard about but haven't been able to play yet. Games are so immersive in a way that board games and TV shows can't match. And even though I loved all of that, I couldn't shake this feeling. After an hour or two, I would turn off the TV, and instead of feeling rested, I would feel off, like I wasted my night. But I didn't know what I was supposed to do instead. I was relaxing more than ever, but I wasn't feeling more fulfilled, which was confusing. I did my work for the day, I have no other obligations, so why doesn't this feel amazing? Don't people say all the time they wish they had more time to relax? Well, I'm doing that right now, so why do I feel crappy? I kept trying to figure out what was wrong. I was running my own business at the time, and I figured this was just my brain saying, you shouldn't be relaxing, you should be building. And even if you don't run a business, you probably know that feeling, that sense that you haven't earned rest yet. So I tried to fix that. I worked longer hours, I set bigger goals, I told myself I'd relax after I earned it. And weirdly, the feeling didn't go away. Then I thought maybe it was loneliness, that if I had a girlfriend or a tighter group of friends, this would all click into place. And when those things changed, when my life looked better on paper, I kept waiting to feel better and happier. But I never did. That's when I realized I wasn't confused anymore, I was stuck. I had run out of explanations. So a couple years ago, I went to a life coach and asked them what was wrong. What they said changed me forever. You are not living a life that you want to engage in. That's why you escape. That's why you are not fulfilled. I remember hearing that and feeling this instant click. It was total recognition, because nothing in my life was falling apart. I wasn't miserable, I wasn't lost. I had a wonderful marriage, a baby on the way, a business that worked, but I could feel it immediately. Video games weren't the problem. The problem was that they were the only part of my life I actually wanted to engage with. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. When your work, your goals, or your day-to-day life don't pull you in, your brain looks for something that does. Not because something's wrong with you, but because engagement matters more than we realize. And that's when my attention turned to the one place that's always been the hardest for me to care about: my work. I realized it wasn't just that I procrastinated on it, it was that I never wanted to spend time growing it. I didn't feel curious about it. I didn't miss it when I stepped away from it. For years, I assumed that was a personal flaw, that this was just what responsibility feels like, that if I were more disciplined, I'd want to engage. But this time, instead of blaming myself, I asked a different question. What if I don't want to engage with this because I genuinely don't like this kind of work? And that's when I realized I had built a career around something I assumed I should want, not something I actually wanted. I had confused being good at something with wanting to live inside it. And this doesn't just show up in work. For some people, it's school. For others, it's a relationship or a life they stepped into on autopilot. Once I saw that, I thought more about video games. Games do a few things incredibly well. Things real life honestly doesn't do very well at all. First, they remove ambiguity. When you're playing a game, you always know what progress looks like. There's an XP bar, a rank, a level, a quest that literally says, do this, then do that. You're never wondering if what you're doing matters. The game tells you immediately. Second, they remove real risk. Failure in a game doesn't mean much. You lose a match, you restart. You die to a boss, you try again. There's frustration, sure, but there's no real cost. You don't lose years of your life, you don't damage your reputation, you don't walk away wondering if you made a terrible decision. And third, they compress time. You can put a couple hours into a game and feel like you actually did something. You made progress, you unlocked something, you finished a quest. That feeling comes fast. Real life is almost the opposite. You can put in weeks or months of effort and feel like nothing is happening. Progress is so slow, feedback is completely unclear, and sometimes you don't even know if you're heading in the right direction. And failure in real life actually costs something. time, money, confidence, momentum. So when you look at it, it's not that video games are unusually addictive, they're just unusually good at giving you a sense of progress. Progress without consequence is incredibly seductive, especially when real-life progress feels invisible. And once you understand that, there's a simple way to tell whether games are helping you rest or helping you avoid. There's a difference between games as rest and games as escape, and most people don't notice when they cross that line. Here's how I learned to tell. When you turn the game off, do you feel recharged or relieved? Recharge feels like I'm ready to go back to my life. Relief feels like I'm glad that night is over. Another question that helped me: if video games disappeared tomorrow, what would you actually want to replace them with? Not what you should do, what you'd want to do. If the answer is nothing, that's not a gaming problem. That's an engagement problem. And once you see that, quitting games isn't the solution. Building a life that pulls you in is. And when I asked myself those questions, the answer was uncomfortable, but clear. For me, games weren't an addiction. They were a comfortable holding pattern. My life wasn't falling apart, it just wasn't starting. Not because they were ruining my life, but because I could feel myself being pulled toward them every chance I got to experience that clear, instant, risk-free sense of progress, while avoiding the parts of my life that didn't give me that feeling at all. I needed to stop borrowing engagement from games and build a life that actually pulled me in, and eventually I did. In my YouTube channel, I finally found something I wanted to engage in. Not something I felt guilty for not doing, something I genuinely wanted to spend time on. For the past 2 years, I felt whole in a way I never had before. I'm finally living a life I want to engage in. And here's the best part: a couple months ago, I started playing video games again. And now they don't get in the way anymore because they're no longer the only place my brain feels alive. They're still my favorite hobby, they just work alongside my life now, not instead of it. These past 2 years have been the happiest of my life, and I made this video because this was the biggest unlock I've ever had, for real. Not just for productivity or success, but for becoming someone I actually want to be. If this idea about escape versus engagement resonated, I made another video about the expectations from TV that we're given about friendship, love, and adulthood, and how it's warped our mindset. I'll link to it here. I don't think most people need more discipline. I think they need a cleaner picture of the trade-off they're making every night. If you feel that same pull, don't ask what you need to quit. Ask what kind of life would make quitting unnecessary.